Hi everyone, my name is Kaikun6 and I'm here to do another episode of Playlist Stories. And this one is going to be a little bit different, you guys. I know I've did a video like this in the past, and I felt like this one was going to be a little bit more personal, more close to me, especially for this certain person I'm going to be mentioning, since he, you know, he touched a lot of hearts and a lot of lives. And if I get emotional in this video, just excuse me, because it took me a while to process what happened. And I remember I talked about it with some friends and stuff like that, especially for the ones that knew him. And then I got to find out some information about this said person, and then I'm just gonna probably just state the facts that I know, and then for whatever speculation that y'all have, especially for the ones that are, you know, my friends and family in California, any more information, who knows if I'll ever make an update video, but for sure, I'll be making a decision sometime soon after this video once I explain what this episode's going to be about. I have mentioned this to like a few friends about making this a certain video, because as soon as I found out what was going on and how to process this all information, I felt like I needed some time to process it, even though I have been uploading like almost weekly videos for, you know, like my unboxings, my shopping finds, and maybe craft videos and stuff like that. And so I was like, you know, trying to avoid making this video, but I'm like, you know what, I need to do this video in order for me to like talk about it. And so for those of you that don't know, or you're barely watching this is your first video, hi everybody. I do sometimes do I used to do weekly videos for Playlist Stories, where all it is just certain songs that brings memories, and then, you know, and I explained it, like, what is the song, how much it means to me, and do I still listen to it or do I not? And then I explain the memory that attaches to the song. And so I don't know how I'm gonna start it, because it's really weird. Like, I am gonna get emotional because it is like a very sad thing for this to happen. So for the facts to start out with, how this started was that about a month ago, maybe, I think, one of my childhood friends that I grew up with, especially since he used to live with my mom, and you know, his family used to live with us. I don't know what to give him the nickname, honestly. I haven't thought it through, but I think I'm just gonna use like his nickname that I grew up with and stuff like that. So my friend Miggy, and if you're watching this, you know, hi. But yeah, about a month ago, maybe it's already been about a month, he approached my friend Zuzu, and that's the nickname I'm going to be using since that's what she goes by. Well, honestly, what he was trying to do, my friend Miggy, was that he was trying to look for a friend. And because he always does this like a lot, like often, I would say. So if he doesn't have them on Facebook or some sort of social media platform, he'll do his best to reach out to those people and to see how it's going. And so he noticed that this certain friend that, you know, like, he hasn't uploaded anything since 2018 or something like that, because I think that was for my research, from what I was looking at. That was the last thing that I seen him post and stuff like that, but it could have been privatized, so who knows if he's been uploading stuff that, you know, just his circle of friends can actually see and stuff like that. So I was approached by my friend Zuzu, telling me like this screenshot of a conversation between him, well, Miggy and Zuzu, and they said something about, like, you know, there were some rumors going around with this friend. And I was kind of like processing this for the meantime, because I was just like, I have never thought, you know, my used to be friend Sparky, if you remember me mentioning this nickname around through my videos for Playlist Stories, then that's the one. And so Sparky was saying that supposedly he died, or there were some rumors that he died, and supposedly, like, it was old news or something like that. And I was just like, excuse me? Like, I kind of like, it was kind of like, it took me aback, you know? And I was like, there was no way that this, you know, this dude will ever die. And so, so I remember she approached me, and we had this, like, long conversation, right? It took a few days because she was busy herself, and then I was busy by myself. So I started, like, looking into my friend Sparky, especially on Facebook, because that was the only social media platform that I know that he uses. I know he has other ones. I think he used to have a TikTok and all that other stuff. But his main stuff was, like, mainly on Facebook. And so, as a millennial also, I was trying to research it. I remember sending her screenshots of, like, these many profiles that he had on there. And so she was trying to look at him too, and she just said, yeah, like, it looks like the last post that he's made was, like, back in 2018 and stuff like that. And I was, like, in this rabbit hole. I finally was like, you know what, let me try to see if I can get in this rabbit hole. I told her, if I find any information, I'm gonna let you know, and then maybe, hopefully, she was gonna pass it on to my friend Miggy, right? So I went into this, like, reminiscent thing, right, where I was thinking, like, okay, who will be the last people to see him in person, right? Because from the last thing I heard about Sparky was that he was homeless at some point. He decided to do drugs and stay on the path of drugs because that was what he wanted to do, instead of, like, being sober or clean and, you know, hang around with friends and family. And to be honest, that was one of the reasons why I stopped being his friend, because of the drugs. And so I remember wondering who it was, right? Like, who was the last one to see us. So I went to go, like, well, to be honest, the only ones that I know, like, I know that might have seen him last was, of course, my dad and my friend Emo Barbie. So of course, I'm like, I can't contact my dad, you know, like, what could I do? So I went to go message my friend Emo Barbie, and of course we had a long conversation because I haven't talked to her in years. Like, even though I have her on my personal Facebook, but I rarely talk about her, but I do, like, sometimes, you know, comment on her posts whenever I can, you know. Life can get a better of you, right? And she understood that, so we were talking, and I mentioned to her about our friend Sparky, and she was very devastated because she was just like, there was no way that he could have died. I just said, I don't know, I'm trying to investigate, and you're the only last person that I know, other than my dad, that has seen him in person. Like, before he basically, what I thought was, like, he got off the grid because of his, you know, his addiction, and he had a really troubled past. So, like, he was avoiding cops and stuff like that. And so she was telling me some really messed up shit, like, through the messages, and I was just like, oh boy, like, I did not want to, never thought that this would, like, cross my mind, I guess, even though it was, like, something that I had to deal with at some point. And so I ended up, you know, kind of, like, processing all this information without knowing, like, who am I going to talk to about this, right? And so once I got enough information that I thought what might have happened to my friend Sparky, I decided to send that information to my friend Zuzu again. And I haven't had a response from her for a couple days since she has been busy with, like, you know, her own problems and stuff like that. So you know, I decided, you know what, I'm gonna go message a few people. So I ended up, you know, messaging my friend Ace, because she knew him well. And then, I don't know what kind of nickname I would use her. Well, I could call her Demi, because of how she identified herself, so probably I'll use that. So Demi, she used to work with him at some point, and maybe knew him and when we were in high school, so who knows. And then, of course, my friend Choji, and I think that was it for the meantime. And so, while I was trying to process the information and still talking to my friend Emo Barbie, she was like, maybe he was influenced by this one person that, you know, he got into drugs. And I was just like, sure, I believe that, because I remembered another friend of ours that I used to talk to. She was really close to him, and like, I don't even know if she knows that, you know, he died or something, but all I know is that she got really close to his family, this and that, and everybody thought they were dating, even though he was dating another friend of ours at the time. And so I decided, you know what, let me go reach out to these 3 people. So I ended up messaging everybody. Of course, they were like devastated by the news and this and this, but I told them, like, I don't know if it's confirmed yet, because I'm still trying to like get myself into this rabbit hole of information that I can find. And so I decided to just like tell everybody, like, as far as I know, that knew him that well. And I was dreading, basically, maybe just because, like, I rarely message people, I rarely reach out to anybody. Like, you of all people know that, especially for my family and friends, because, like, usually I could be busy and sometimes I don't. I was still kind of like, you know, I'm trying to do my own thing, trying to relax, trying to like just catch up with the week with chores and stuff like that, because, you know, chores never end and stuff like that. Of course, bills too, but you know what I mean. And so throughout the whole time, I was messaging Ace and Demi and my friend Choji. And then eventually it led to my friend Ace to reach out to another high school friend that knew him. And I don't know what to give him as a nickname. Probably, well, maybe I'll use the nickname that we used to use in high school. And if you're seeing this, hello. But I'm going to call him Pabli. Yeah. He sent me a friend request, and then I added him, and then I messaged him like about an hour or so later, since I was doing chores, of course, like laundry never ends. And so we talked for a while, you know, like, well, what was going on with his life, you know, because he and I haven't spoken to each other since 2014. And honestly, after that hangout, like, everybody, you know, just stopped hanging out with each other because of like problems and stuff like that. But just that hangout has always brought really good memories. And I remember my friend Ace sending me like text messages of like photos and all that stuff with that hangout. I'm like, I'm never gonna forget that, because I felt like almost everybody that was like available to hang out, especially for the younger generation of that anime club in high school, were there, you know, and especially new friends that never even went to the club itself. We just met them through other, you know, associations, right? And so, you know, it was pretty fun. And so I got to talk to him and this and that, and he was like, you know, sort of devastated also for the news, and I was just like, all right, cool. And then so I ended up like accumulating even more evidence that I have ever thought. And then eventually, about 2 weeks later, I want to say maybe 3 weeks later, that was when my friend Miggy confirmed that, you know, my friend Sparky did, well, ex-friend, I should say. I shouldn't even say a friend, but he used to be my friend. So, he did pass away, and, he went to go visit his grave at some point, and it was on his Instagram. And so my husband has Instagram. I don't. Like, I'm eventually gonna get one, you guys. It's been crazy. So, I was like, basically it felt like somebody punched me in the chest. It really did, because I was just like, I know he wasn't a really good friend in the end, but he gave me so many memories that I never thought that it was gonna affect me, even as of today as an adult. Even if so many years have passed by that I haven't talked to him since, like, you know, he was still a really close friend and stuff like that. And so I ended up telling my husband, I was like, can you please message him, like, you know, the information and everything. And so I ended up doing my own research because of the news that my friend Sparky passed away. And on the June 5th of this month, you know, like June 5th, it has been an entire year since he passed away, and nobody bothered to tell anybody, I guess, because from what Miggy said, it was a very private matter. But then again, I'm like, well, maybe he knew the answer as to how he died and why he died. And so I felt like I wanted to, you know, figure out how that happened, and there was just so many theories from all the information I have gotten from people. A lot of people said, what if he, you know, offed himself, or what if he can, you know, kind of like he OD'd or something. I don't know, like it could have been it could be any possibilities, and I know it's a very sensitive subject for everybody out there, but it was kind of like, I just want to know the truth, right? And I had to go reach out to other people to see if they knew what happened, and the only one that I know that might know, it would be his stepmother. And have I reached out to her? No. Like, I don't know how to find her, but if I still remember where she lives at, and like, and all that, maybe sometime soon, I want to say maybe sometime this year, or maybe next year, I don't know. But all I know is that the information is out there as to where he was buried, where's the address to that, and then when I found his online obituary, that was when it affected me a lot more, honestly, because I felt like, wow, so he has really been, well, now already gone for over a year. And so I went to look at his obituary. I saw, like, you know, family post comments on there online, how much they tried to donate money, I guess, or they did a GoFundMe, I don't know, but like I saw a lot of it in that link. And then of course, a lot of it was like, oh, just a few comments. I don't know if there was any more since then, because I haven't really checked it myself. It's been a couple weeks. And so, like I said, I was still processing this. I still am. I was just like, how would I handle it? Because for the longest time, I've had family members pass away from me, and they were like really close to me, especially to my dad. So for a friend or an ex-friend, it was very difficult. It really was. And so other than, you know, what happened with Anthony Soto in a previous episode I did mention, but, you know, he wasn't as close as I was with my friend Sparky. And so I decided to, you know, like, I wanted to create a hangout once I am in town to see if any of our friends and family want to go see him. And so I remember I talked to all of the friends that I have reached out to, and they said, you know, like, yeah, we would love to. And I was like, all right. And I know I'm getting a little bit emotional. I could feel my tears coming now. But yeah, so we decided we're gonna go see, you know, my friend, well, ex-friends, Sparky's grave. And then, you know, and then Demi messaged me saying that she wanted to, you know, like, just make him feel like he's part of the group still, like we should bring something that he likes, and all that. And I felt like, well, I didn't really know the guy that much. Like, he really didn't speak that much. I mean, sure, we had a lot of, like, fun. We had, you know, we talk about so many weird jokes. And I still remember some of them weird conversations we used to had. And of course, a lot of it were, like, if I were to say it now, I could probably get canceled. But a lot of it was like, you know, all I remember was him loving bacon so much, and then certain onions that my mom got him to like, because for the longest time as a kid, he said that he never liked onions up until my mom cooks them at some point, and it was with a certain dish. And I felt like maybe I should bring those two items there. I know he liked different types of soda. Not particular about the alcohol, because I know he drank a lot too, but I didn't know what. And so I was like, okay, I just probably need to bring some stuff that maybe that I could barely remember. But I haven't told any, like, my friends yet. I was just discussing it with Demi. But for all the friends that are watching this video, yeah, hopefully once I get into town, for sure, I want to do like a little invite type of thing on Facebook, or just, you know, spread, you know, mouth to mouth for like the word or something. If y'all know anybody that you still talk to, or just that knew Sparky, I would gladly for you guys to reach out to him, to them, to see if they really want to join us. And if they can't, that's fine, because a lot of, like, our friends nowadays, they moved out of the country or moved out of state like I have, and so probably they won't even have time to, you know, go see their friend. But I found out that one of his ex-girlfriends was going to be going, and I'm like, I hope she does. I just hope she leaves her peace and stuff like that. Hopefully all of us will, basically. And to a little bit to know about Sparky was like, I knew him since middle school. Well, I knew him, but I never really associated with him that much, right? And he used to date this girl that nobody kind of liked her at first, but now, you know, she calmed down from her crazy ass life, and now she's like, you know, she was like a part of his life for the longest time. Then of course he dated a few of our friends, and then that was it. Like, that was all I know. I think the last girlfriend that I knew, or that he was like dating, was like a really popular girl. All I know is that she's black and all that, and I don't even know if she knows that he passed away or not. But I remember for the longest time, when I still had Sparky as a friend on Facebook, he would post up pictures of this girl, and then I'm like, oh, okay, cool, and then of course another ex-girlfriend of his has a daughter with her, and I knew her too for the longest time. And I've had explained it in a previous video, and the one that I'm talking about is Get Your Gun by Marilyn Manson, like that person. So I don't even know if she knows that, you know, that used to be the, you know, the father of her first child passed away too. And so I remember talking about this with Ace at one point, and she said she wants to try to reach out to her to see what was going on, because the last time she's ever seen her was like through her baby shower. And I'm like, I understand. Like, I don't know. Like, I remember I explained everything in that video, so it's like there are reasons why I stopped being friends with her. But I do hope, like, if, let's say she does show up to the hangout and stuff like that just to go see Sparky, you know, hopefully she'll be all right. You know, maybe we'll be friends again. Who knows? I'm not really like having any high hopes for that, because I did decide to walk out of her life, so who knows. But yeah, that's all I know much about him. Like, he was just a normal person, you know. He liked music, he liked food, definitely bacon. And but I know his ex-girlfriends know about him more than I have. Like, all I remember was me sharing moments with him, and we used to, like, you know, eat together, drink together. We did had, like, a lot of family time. And then by the time I did find out about what happened, like, I finally processed it and everything. But I never really, like, properly grieved or something up until now. I'm kind of, like, crying about it. I'm such a baby. But, like, I told my sister, and then my sister told my mom, because my mom used to take care of him too, in a way. Like, she used to help him, like, get a license, get him a job, used to give him rights to that said job, and I don't know what else, but she did try her best to become, like, a mother figure to him, because his real mother is in prison or jail or something from the last that I've heard, and then his stepmom was not that good of a person. Yeah, because I remember when I went to go visit his stepmother and then met his, you know, like, his family, or that part of the family that lives in that house, except his brothers, if the vibe was off, honestly. It really was. But anyway, but yeah, and so for the toughest time, I was trying to figure out, like, what should I associate this person entirely, like, you know, what would be, like, the perfect song for him, even though I have spoken about him many, many times in previous videos. And so I thought, because of the title of the song, Clint Eastwood by Gorillaz, I thought that was an appropriate song for him. Because I remembered when that song first came on, literally just last week, I was trying to, like, go through my playlist, because I wanted to do more episodes of playlist stories. It's just I have been so busy with, like, other projects that I wanted to upload on here on this channel. And so I felt like, you know what, I want to upload more playlist stories. And then I was going through the playlist, and I got some ideas jotted down. And then while I was done with that, I started writing, because, of course, my brain does not want to give me any break. Like, so I had to go rewrite 2 stories. And so during the time that I was writing this said story, oh, excuse me, and also working on a birthday gift for somebody. I'm trying. I lost track of my train of thought. Oh, so when I was listening to this song, immediately Sparky just popped into my brain, and this song is going to be forever associated with him because of the fact that I remembered when I listened to the song when I was like in probably like after high school, because I didn't really listen to Gorillaz that much in high school, even though it was like on my iPod video and my iPod shuffle thanks to Alibaba and all that. But I listened to other stuff, and then the one time I did listen to that band, I only listened to a couple songs, right? And so I decided, you know what? I'm gonna give the Gorillaz another chance, right? And so there's a few songs on there, thanks to my husband, that got me into it. And then, of course, me talking to my brother at one point about the band, he was just like, oh, you never really liked them? I was just like, I don't know, I never really associated with the band that much or listened to them much. Oops, I just moved you guys a little bit, sorry. And so I thought, well, what would be the perfect time for me to listen to the songs again? And so there was like a few songs that I really like from Gorillaz, and then there was a couple more added onto the playlist thanks to my husband. And so, because whenever he and I are on road trips or just even going to the grocery store, he'll play his music sometimes, and then there'll be some songs on there I'm just like, oof, I'm not gonna listen to that, whereas some sounded so familiar. And I never thought that they'll be added to my playlist, that type of that. There's no silver lining in there or no gray area on that one. And so yeah. Oh boy, this video is out of place, honestly. I just didn't know how I was going to do this video. And I thought, well, usually I would re-record videos, so that way I'll have my thoughts straightened out and stuff, and hopefully not to get distracted. But I felt like this was an easier video for me to do, even though it was like the hardest I ever had to do. And so yeah, so for all of my friends and family in California, and for those that are, you know, out of the country and all that stuff, or even out of state, if you're able to come to California sometime by the end of the year, I'm gonna post more information like on Facebook, like on my personal Facebook profile. But hopefully by the end of the year, like me and my husband were saving money anyway, not just to come to California to go see my family and friends, but because of this tragic news that came to my attention of Sparky. I want to go visit his grave, and if y'all are going to be going there with me, then, you know, like, let's just do it. We're just going to do a hangout. Like, I'll explain more details when it comes into the future, and then once we can finalize, you know, a certain day, or, yeah, like, probably like a week or something, where, you know, I'll be in town visiting family and friends, and then I'll dedicate one day to go to Sparky's grave. And then that way all of us can just hang out and chill, and then, you know, talk about our stories or experiences or just random conversations that you have with Sparky. And for those that aren't going to make it, just go ahead and, you know, just leave your experiences in the comment section of that invite that I'll be doing on Facebook. Or if you're able to contact any friends that, you know, that we all know, that you still have their number, or you could just message them through, you know, any type of social media platform. You know, we could share those stories, experiences, conversations, or even little snippets of moments that you knew this person. Go ahead and, you know, send them, because I am going to be accumulating a lot of memories that I have shared with Sparky. And all I know is that I already know that, like, I'm trying to compile a list of people that I know that will go. But if you know anybody else that might want to show up for this, you know, go ahead and message me, you know, comment anywhere, go on my Facebook or anything. But yeah, like, hopefully I'll be able to end the video there. I don't know, this was a very, it was kind of like, I feel a little bit better talking about this, even though I don't know that much information at all. but it still feels really hard for me to even talk about it, because like it's still something that I need to process, you know. And so we'll see. But yeah, I'm gonna end the video there before I start rambling on. I know this is a very long video already. It's been crazy. I had a crazy week too. I had one of my husband's nieces stay over for the night for 2 nights, and oh boy, it's been something, because they also going through a lot of stuff. And I remember like, you know, there's just so much tea in the world and not enough time to, you know, talk about it, unless you know, I reached out to people, or they reach out to me like, hey, what's going on, you know, that type of thing. But anyway, I'm gonna end the video there. I'm gonna go clean up. I am going to clean up this, because I am a mess right now, and hopefully write more to distract myself or whatever. But I just know that if this song pops up in my playlist, for sure I'm gonna cry. So, but yeah, yeah, I'll just see you guys then. Hopefully you guys have a lovely day and a lovely week, and I'll see you guys next week, which I don't know what next week will be, but we'll just have to find out. All right, bye everyone.